What up, guys? This is Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Wednesday, January 16th, 2019, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Tom Holland's Peter Parker leaves New York and takes a field trip with classmates to Europe in the first teaser trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home. The clip released Tuesday features Peter wanting to give being Spider-Man a break so that he can enjoy a normal trip with his friend Ned, played by Jacob Batalon, and MJ, played by Zendaya. Peter doesn't get his wish, however, when he's recruited by Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who needs Spider-Man for a new mission. The wall crawler then comes into contact with a giant being made of water. The villainous Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, arrives onto the scene and begins battling the creature as Peter watches. Spider-Man Far From Home, from returning director John Watts, is set to arrive in theaters on July 5th. Kobe Smulders plays Nick Fury's partner Maria Hill, Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. They are also set to star in the movie again. Tom Cruise and director Christopher McQuarrie have signed on for 2 more Mission Impossible sequels, Studio Paramount has announced. The sequels are set to be released in the summers of 2021 and 2022. Cruise and McQuarrie last collaborated together on Mission Impossible Fallout, which was released in July. The new entries will be filmed back-to-back with McQuarrie also penning both films, Variety reported. Cruise confirmed the sequels on Twitter Monday alongside a brief video of the Mission Impossible logo with 2 fuses burning. McQuarrie also commented on the news by tweeting, "Missions accepted." Cruise has starred in every entry of Mission Impossible film franchise as IMF agent Ethan Hunt, with McQuarrie coming on as director, starting with 2015's Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Cruise will next be seen in Top Gun Maverick, which is set for release on June 26, 2020. This Is Us is adding Goran Visnjic to its Season 3 cast. The Hollywood Reporter confirmed the 46-year-old actor will have a recurring role on the NBC series. Visnjic will play Vincent, a teacher to Bev, played by Susan Kelechi Watson, who was shown at a dance school during the flash forward in a previous episode. Visnjic will first appear in an episode exploring Bev's life before she married Randall, played by Sterling K. Brown. Co-showrunner Isaac Aptaker previously told the Hollywood Reporter, "We have a really, really special episode coming that is pretty much entirely devoted to Bev and her life outside of Randall and who she was before she met him. That will answer a lot of questions about why future Beth was presiding over all those ballerinas." Entertainment Weekly said Felicia Rashad will also appear in the Beth-centric episode as the character's mom. Watson recently confirmed viewers will get answers about the cryptic flash forward. The actor says, "We're going to get to the full story, and it's about where she goes from here. Now that we know what's been bothering her, what's been on her mind, and where she finally wants to go, now, what is she going to do?" This Is Us returns from mid-season break Tuesday. The series co-stars Milo Ventimiglia, Mandy Moore, Chrissy Metz, and Justin Hartley. Visnjic is best known for playing Dr. Luka Kovic on the NBC series ER and Garcia Flynn on Timeless. He will also have a recurrent role in Season 3 of the Netflix series Santa Clarita Diet. 9 to 5 stars Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin have found writers for the sequel to the 1980 movie. The Friends and co-stars discussed the film and their plans for a follow-up movie with Dolly Parton during Tuesday's episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Fonda and Tomlin played Julie Burnley and Violet Newstead in 9 to 5 with Parton as Dora Lee Rhodes. The pair told host Ellen DeGeneres they're trying to get the sequel made. Fonda says, "We're trying. We've got people writing it, hopefully." Fonda said she initially met Tomlin a year or 2 before they worked on 9 to 5. She saw Tomlin perform in the play Appearing Nightly and was gobsmacked by the actress's talent. The star recalled, "I totally changed the idea for 9 to 5 because of her, because I said, I don't want to make a movie about secretaries if she's not in it." Fonda, who came up with the idea for the film, said she found Tomlin before seeking out Parton. She joked it was Lily, and then driving home from seeing her, I turned the radio on and Dolly was singing. I thought, oh, wouldn't that be interesting? Typing and she can see her fingers. Fonda previously said at a Television Critics Association panel in July that she, Tomlin, and Parton are intended to be in the sequel. She says, my role is as an executive producer, and I'm working with the writers, with Lily, and talking to the writers. Fonda and Tomlin star in the Netflix series Grace and Frankie, which will return for a 5th season on Friday. Kim Kardashian says baby number 4 is arriving soon. The 38-year-old television personality confirmed on Monday's episode of Watch What Happens Live that she's expecting another son with husband Kanye West via surrogate. Kim told host Andy Cohen her child is due sometime soon. She appeared alongside sisters Kourtney and Khloe Kardashian, who expressed surprise when she announced the baby's sex. The star said before explaining her forthcomingness, it's a boy. It's out there. I got drunk at our Christmas Eve party and I told some people, and I can't remember who I told because I never get drunk. Kim and her sisters also addressed their relationship with their former stepfather, Caitlyn Jenner. The siblings have clashed with Caitlyn since her split from their mom, Kris Jenner, in 2014, but are back to speaking with the star. Kim said, we saw her on Christmas Eve. It's like New Year, drama-free. That's like our motto this year. US Weekly reported this month that Kim and West are expecting a baby boy via surrogate. Source says the couple's gestational carrier is due to give birth in early May. Kim and West are already parents to 5-year-old daughter North, 3-year-old son Saint, and 1-year-old daughter Chicago. Kim posted photos with West and their kids in December from her family's Christmas Eve party. A related story, Rob Kardashian and Alexis Sky have dinner together. Rumors they're dating. The 31-year-old television personality and the 24-year-old reality star enjoyed a quiet night at home Monday that they documented on social media. Kardashian shared a video on Snapchat of Sky in what appeared to be his mom, Kris Jenner's kitchen. Sky posted photos and clips on Instagram's story of herself making chicken and baked mac and cheese. She later wrote, I want to be with someone that brings the angel out of me forever, not the devil, and he will be my husband. Kardashian also reposted a photo of Sky calling her his Women's Crush Wednesday. He wrote, adding her heart emojis, my WCW, I've been wanting you for so long. Kardashian Sky's date night follows reports dramas with Kardashian's ex-wife Blac Chyna and fiancé Blac Chyna. Sky said Saturday on Instagram stories that Blac Chyna threw a drink at her at a private party in Los Angeles. She wrote, according to Us Weekly, I'm not even the type to start a fight. She threw a drink at me. Kardashian is parents to 2-year-old daughter Dream with Blac Chyna, from whom he split in 2017. His sisters Kourtney, Kim, and Khloe Kardashian says fans will see more of Kardashian in the new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kim said in an interview Monday on Watch What Happens Live, he's doing good. I think he's going to be a little bit more on the next season. He has his moods. Sometimes he's like, look, I didn't sign up for this. And sometimes he's like, I'm cool to do it. Julianne Hough says endometriosis makes her sex life frustrating at times. The 30-year-old dancer and television personality discussed her struggle with the condition in a brand new interview with Women's Health, saying husband Brooks Latch is supportive and understanding of her limitations. Huff told the magazine, it can definitely cut things short. Sometimes we're in the middle and I'm just like, stop. She said, it can be frustrating. He only wants to love on me and makes me feel good. Dancing with the Stars alum said she and Latch have found ways to be intimate without triggering pain. She said, there's so much intimacy without actually having sex. There are some cool things we've learned, and it's literally been awesome. Huff first experienced symptoms from endometriosis, a disorder where abdominal tissue grows outside the uterus at age 15 years old. The condition affects an estimate of 1 in 10 women of reproductive age, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Symptoms include painful cramps or periods, heavy periods, chronic pelvis, and intestinal pain during and after sex. She was diagnosed at the age of 20 after bouts of cramping sent her to the emergency room. The star recalled of her experience as a teen. I didn't think to go to a gynecologist because I'm a competitor. I felt like I had to push through the pain and just work. She said of her approach now, my body is very precious to me. I didn't think of it that way before. If I don't like If I don't feel like working out that day, then I don't do it. If I want to sleep in, then I will. Huff and Latch married in an intimate outdoor wedding in July 2017. Huff told E! News in March that she doesn't believe her endometriosis will affect her ability to have kids. Carol Channing, the Broadway legend known for starring in stage productions of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Hello, Dolly, has died at the age of 97. Channing died Tuesday inside her home in Rancho Mirage, California, of natural causes, her publicist B. Harlan Bowl confirmed in a statement. Bowl says, "It is with extreme heartache that I have announced the passing of an original industry pioneer, legend, and icon, Ms. Carol Channing. I admired her before I met her and have loved her since the day she stepped, or fell rather, into my life." He continued by saying, "It's very hard to see the final curtain lowered on a woman who has been a daily part of my life for more than a third of it. We supported each other, cried with each other, argued with each other, but always ended up laughing with each other. Saying goodbye is one of the hardest things I have ever had to do, but I know that when I feel those uncontrollable urges to laugh at everything or nothing at all, it will be because she is with me, tickling my funny bone." Channing made her stage debut in 1941 in Never Take No for an Answer. She became a star in 1949 after portraying Lorelei Lee in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, singing the famous Broadway tune Diamonds is a Girl's Best Friend. Channing also starred in Wonderful Town and The Vamp before taking on her iconic role as Dolly Gallagher-Levy in 1964's Hello, Dolly. The actress continued to reprise her role in the musical for more than 5,000 performances until 1995. Channing was 97. Singer-musician Alicia Keys will host the 2019 Grammy Awards. The 37-year-old recording artist will preside over the 61st annual ceremonies February 10th in Los Angeles, the Grammys announced Tuesday. Keys is a 15-time Grammy winner who most recently took home Best R&B Album for Girl on Fire in 2014. The 2019 ceremony will mark her first time as host. The star said in a statement, "I know what it feels to be on that stage, and I'm going to bring that vibe and energy." She also added, "I'm so excited to be the master of ceremonies on the biggest night in music and celebrate the creativity, power, and magic. I'm especially excited for all the incredible women nominated this year. It's going to be up on February 10th. Recording Academy President and CEO Neil Portnow called Keys the perfect choice for host, praising her groundbreaking talent and passion for her craft. He said, "Throughout her exciting career, I've watched her become a powerful force within the music industry and beyond. As an artist who speaks to the power of music for good, a role model and spokesperson for change, we're thrilled to have her on board for what sure is to be an unforgettable Grammy Awards." The 2019 Grammy Awards will air February 10th on CBS. Kendrick Lamar, Cardi B, and Drake top the list of nominations, with Lamar leading the pack with 8 nominations for his work on the Black Panther soundtrack. Albums from the late Michael Jackson and Amy Winehouse were among the top-selling vinyl of 2018. Nielsen Music said vinyl sales grew 14.6% last year, with Jackson, Winehouse, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Volume 1 soundtrack among the top sellers, according to Billboard. The Guardians album was the top-selling LP of 2018, with 84,000 copies sold. Jackson's album Thriller took the second spot with 84,000, while Fleetwood Mac's album Rumors came in at number 3 with 77,000. Guardians, Thriller, and Rumors were followed by Abbey Road by the Beatles, Purple Rain from Prince and the Revolution, The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, Legend, The Best of Bob Marley and the Wailers, Greatest Hits by Queen, Back to Black from Winehouse, and Pray for the Wicked by Panic at the Disco. The Beatles also had one of the top-selling vinyl singles in 2018, topping the list with Yellow Submarine. Prince's song, Nothing Compares to You, took the number 2 spot. The Grammys said 2018 marked the 13th consecutive year of growth for vinyl sales. Streaming has led to an overall decline in album format sales, which were down more than 17% to 141 million in 2018. Selena Gomez has returned to Instagram following a 3-month hiatus from social media. The Disney Channel alum was hospitalized in October for a low white blood cell count. She suffered from a panic attack during her second hospital stay and saw mental health treatment, which she completed in December. Gomez, after completing treatment, was spotted enjoying a winter trip with friends, her first public outing in months. Gomez said on Monday, alongside 3 black and white photos, "It's been a while since you have heard from me, but I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year and to thank you for your love and support." The singer and actress posted a photo of herself with her eyes closed, one where she's holding up a magnifying glass, and a dark image of herself laying on a bed. She continued, "Last year was definitely a year of self-reflection, challenges, and a growth. It is always those challenges which shows you who you are and what you are capable of overcoming. Trust me, it's not easy, but I am proud of the person I am becoming and looking forward to the year ahead. Love you all." The post has been liked by fans over 6 million times and counting. Gomez said in February 2018 she doesn't expect she will ever fully overcome her depression and anxiety. She said at the time, "I think it's a battle I'm going to have to face for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that because I know that I'm choosing myself over anything else." The comments came after Gomez had completed a 2-week program in New York for depression and anxiety. Gomez has been open about her health issues, including her battle with lupus, which led her to get a kidney transplant in 2017. Jason Aldean has announced a new North American summer tour in support of his 8th studio album, Rareview Town. The Ride All Night Tour, named after the song from the Rareview Town, is set to kick off May 3rd at the May and Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, after Aldean performs at the Tortuga Music Festival in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on April 12th, and at the Stagecoach Music Festival in Indio, California on April 28th. The tour ends September 28th at the DTE Energy Music Theater in Detroit. Aldean will also be performing in cities such as Milwaukee, Denver, Salt Lake City, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Charlotte, Boston, and Chicago. Aldean will also be joined by special guests Kane Brown and Carly Pierce, who will be taking the stage each night of the tour. Tickets go on sale starting January 25th through Live Nation Mega Ticket Program. Rareview Town, released in April, reached number 1 on the U.S. album charts. Ariana Grande is giving fans a new glimpse of her 7 Rings music video. The 25-year-old singer posted a clip of the video Monday on social media ahead of its official release on Friday. The pink hue video shows a woman sitting in the back of a car before changing to a shot of a bike and a tray with bottles of champagne. Grande and her backup dancers are seen partying in later scenes. 7 Rings Friday, she wrote on Instagram alongside Japanese characters of the same. Grande previously told fans on Twitter that 7 Rings was inspired by an outing with her friends in New York. The star shared, "Well, it was a pretty rough day in New York. My friends took me to Tiffany's. We had too much champagne. I bought us all rings." She says, "It was very insane and funny. On the way back to the Stu Jamuza was like, fuck it, this has got to be a song, LOL. So we wrote it that afternoon." 7 Rings will appear on Grande's upcoming album, Thank You Next. She released a single of the same name and a music video referencing Mean Girls, Bring It On, and Legally Blonde in November. Grande rescheduled a number of tour dates this week for her upcoming Sweetener tour. She will now end the tour July 13th to accommodate dates for rescheduled shows in Chicago and other cities. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1938, Benny Goodman brings jazz to Carnegie Hall. Jazz has been called America's classical music, a label that does more than just recognize its American origins. The label also makes the case that jazz is worthy of aesthetic consideration alongside music usually thought of as classical. In the current era, when programs of Duke Ellington and J.S. Bach often draw the same highbrow crowds, that argument hardly seems controversial. In the 1930s, however, the notion was almost laughable, which is what made Benny Goodman's January 16, 1938 concert at New York City's famed Carnegie Hall so revolutionary. Goodman and his supporting cast claimed a new place for jazz on the American cultural scene that night in what has become seen as the most important jazz concert in history. Benny Goodman was at the absolute height of his legendary career when his publicist first suggested they book Carnegie Hall. He was a star on radio, on stage, and on film, and the label King of Swing was already attached permanently to his name. So outlandish was the suggestion that a jazz band might play inside the citadel of America's high culture. However, that Goodman is said to have laughed the idea off at first. Once he warmed to the notion, however, Goodman threw himself into the task with characteristic passion. In addition to numbers from the regular repertoire of his legendary band, which included Harry James on trumpet, Lionel Hampton on viophones, and Gene Krupa on drums, Goodman planned a program featuring a brand new 20 Years of Jazz piece and an extended jam session featuring the stars of the Duke Ellington and Count Basie Orchestra. The concert sold out in weeks in advance, with the best seats fetching at $2.75. It would be another decade before anyone who was not in the audience or listening on the radio that night would hear the famed concert. All recordings of the show were presumed lost until Goodman's sister-in-law came across a set of acetates in 1950. By then, the performance had already become the stuff of legend, particularly the stunning unplanned piano solo by Jess Stacy on Sing Sing Sing, the evening's final number. The album, made for the recovered acetates, became one of the first 33 1/3 LPs to sell over 1 million copies. The eventual discovery of the aluminum Studio Master recordings led to high-quality CD reissues in 1998, 2002, and 2006 of the legendary Carnegie Hall concert. Also on this date in 1942, actress Carole Lombard, famous for her roles in such screwball comedies as My Man Godfrey and To Be or Not to Be, and for her marriage to actor Clark Gable, is killed when the TWA DC-3 plane she was traveling crashes en route from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. She was 33. Gable and Lombard met in 1932 during the filming of No Man of Her Own. He was just starting out on his trajectory as one of Hollywood's top leading men, and she was a talented comedic actress trying to prove herself in more serious roles. Both were married at the time, Gable to a wealthy Texas widow 10 years his senior, and Lombard to the actor William Powell, and neither showed much interest in the other. When they met again 3 years later, Lombard had divorced Powell, and Gable was separating from his wife, and things proceeded quite differently. Much to the media's delight, the new couple was open about their affection, calling each other Ma and Pa, and exchanging quirky, expensive gifts. In early 1939, Gable's wife finally granted him a divorce, and he married Lombard in April. In January 1942, shortly after America's entrance into World War II, Howard Dietz, the publicity director of the MGM Film Studio, recruited Lombard for a tour to sell war bonds in her home state of Indiana. Gable, who had been asked to serve as the head of Actors Branch of the Wartime Hollywood Victory Committee, stayed in Los Angeles, where he was set to begin filming Somewhere I'll Find You with Lana Turner. Dietz advised Lombard to avoid airplane travel because he feared for its reliability and safety, and she did most of the trip by train, stopping at various locations on the way to Indianapolis and raising some $2 million for the war effort. On the way home, however, Lombard didn't want to wait for the train and instead boarded the TWA DC-3 in Las Vegas with her mother, Elizabeth Peters, and a group that included MGM publicity agent Otto Winkler and 15 young Army pilots. Shortly after takeoff, the plane veered off course. Warning beacons that might have helped guide the pilot had been blacked out because of fear about the Japanese bombers, and the plane smashed into a cliff near the top of the Posty Mountain. Search parties were able to retrieve Lombard's body, and she was buried next to her mother at Forest Lawn Cemetery in Glendale, California, under a marker that read Carole Lombard Gable. Hysterical with grief and adrift in the empty house he had shared with Lombard, Gable drank heavily and struggled to complete his work on Somewhere I'll Find You. He was comforted by worried friends, including the actress Joan Crawford. That August, Gable decided to enlist in the U.S. Army Air Force. He spent most of the war in the United Kingdom and flew several combat missions, including one to Germany, earning several decorations for his efforts. He would remarry twice more, but when he died in 1960, Gable was interred at Forest Lawn next to Lombard. And as your entertainment report for Wednesday, January 16th, 2019. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.